All right. AB, it's on you.
Okay. Yeah, I had a little technical situation, man. I don't know what happened.
I
Anyway,
saw
thanks
that.
for tuning in to another show of Incarceration to Incorporation. I'm the founder and the CEO of Incarceration to Incorporation, where we specialize in helping those transition back into society, coming to prison pathway, whether it's through entrepreneurship or those individuals looking for a job or just out here doing things positive in the community. What we do at Incarceration to Incorporation is we help those entrepreneurs. We match them with the proper with the investor that has a vision and want to provide the help, the necessary help to help these entrepreneurs get back in the workforce, trying to help them either start their business through a off or expand their business. So what we do, we match those with those entrepreneurs, man, and we get them the necessary finances that they need. Um, we got a good show today. We got a lot to talk about, like usual. Like always, I got my co-host with me. He's the founder and the CEO of All Things Relevant Media and All Things Relevant Consultant. And we also have special guests on the show today, Keith Richardson. We're gonna talk to him, man, and he got a lot to talk about. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, but the founder and the CEO of Relevant Media, he got a lot to talk about. So we're gonna listen to him, man, and he gonna tell what it is that he over there doing. We're gonna listen to him tell all the good things that's coming up in the year 2021 for All Things Relevant Media, and we just gonna enjoy the show. We got, like I said, we got a lot to talk about. We talk about politics. We're gonna talk about incarceration pathway. We're gonna talk about entrepreneurship. We're gonna talk about this coronavirus situation that's going on out here. Uh, we're gonna talk about what's going on in the prison system. Keith, that's what his expertise is. That's what he do over there. With the position that he got over there in the prison platform, he gonna tell us. But like I said, I'm gonna bring my co-host on, let him talk a little bit because he got a lot to talk about. Who's home, my brother? What's going on?
I can't call it. I can't call it. Good evening, America. Hello out there. If you're watching this show, tune in every Friday at 6. We got a show coming on at 9 tonight and one coming on at 12 tomorrow. All things relevant media. Share, like, and follow. Share, like, and follow these shows. This is a black media network that we have. This is our platform for us, by us, for us. So just share it. I'm Julius Hall. I'm the CEO and founder of All Things Relevant Media. I just need everybody to understand that what we give here is the plain and simple truth. Is as we see it, we give it to you and let you decide on any information that we give. Um, so just in the next February, we're hoping to have 20 shows on our platform, and we are worldwide. It's going all over the world. So just tune in, like, invite your friends, share it, and we'll see where we go at from there. Keith, you want to give a short introduction?
My name is Keith Richardson. I am currently a correctional officer over at Central Prison. Prior to that, I worked over at Dorothy Dix Hospital as a forensic technician. And prior to that, I worked as a youth counselor at Juvenile Detention Center at Beacon Lake Plaza. And it is a blessing to be here with these two wise men. I feel blessed to be a part of this broadcast, and I hope today we bring forth more healing and more truth, not just to the adults, but to the youth. And so with that said, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Okay.
Hey man, I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Hey, we're gonna jump right into it then, man. I know we got
Let's
an
do
hour show. It's every Friday from 6 to 7. You know, we got a list of things to talk about. We're gonna jump right into it. I want to talk about first, if y'all don't mind. I want to talk about the coronavirus, the COVID-19. Uh,
it.
Normally, man, I want to talk about being incarcerated and coming home, transition back into society, how people cope with that, how family members have to go through it, dealing with people that's being incarcerated. But like I said today, man, a list of things to talk about, and all of that coincide, man. All of that is right on the same board, the same talk, man. So we're gonna talk about y'all opinion. Where did the coronavirus start? What do y'all think about that, man? You know,
Well, they say it started in
a lot of
Wuhan, China. That's where they say it started at. But
I mean,
and that's probably
that's what they
where they
say.
put that, huh?
That's what they say. But what is
Yeah.
your opinion? What do you say? What do you say?
My opinion is that somebody put it in Wuhan, China, because see, in the books, it was already written in these books 20, 30, 40 years ago that it would be a virus in the year 2020 starting in Wuhan, Texas, and Wuhan, China. So, Wuhan, China. All that was, I think, is the big pharmaceutical companies putting that virus there so that they can make all this money because they're going to make trillions because they lost so much money from the opioid crisis. They're going to make trillions and trillions of dollars off of look what Biden's spending 1.9 trillion on vaccinating just the US, on vaccinating just the US. You know, this is the quickest virus they ever cure they ever came up with. Quickest vaccine they ever came up with, ever.
And that in itself is something to look at. You know, you have a president that we're trying to quickly get out of office. Now, as soon as it was determined that he had lost the election, they came up with a cure. That in itself, you got to see how all this kind of coincides and plays, you know, with the politics of it. Let's not forget, we also dealing with a lot of terms. You heard the term ethnic warfare. You know, they have used
Right.
things as early as the Tuskegee experiment. They did the Tuskegee experiment when they let the syphilis out on the young brothers and sisters. You know, the Tuskegee experiment with syphilis, you know, with all male Negroes, it was conducted in 1932 all the way up to 1972. You see what I'm saying? That's how long they let this disease just roam. That was the starting date was 1932, and then it ended in 1972. That they let these young brothers and sisters be infected with syphilis, and they let it go on. So for people to say that it's not something that could be invented or made up, we know that there's been plenty of other ethnic warfare placed on African Americans, especially African American males. They know that once they stop us from being able to reproduce, then as a people, we will cease to exist. So I look at this as another form of ethnic warfare, and we definitely have to be concerned about these things because it's not too far-fetched to think that they don't create things like HIV/AIDS or all types of studies and research that have been done on African Americans in general. What's her name? Henrietta Lacks. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. How they would use her plasma to continue to keep people and discover cures for things today. This is still taking place today with this woman's plasma, her blood plasma. So I don't put nothing past the government because I know that when it comes down to it, they will do anything they can to keep the upper hand on the black man.
Hey, and it's good. It's the reason, and I understand exactly where you're coming from because on my point of view and the way I see things from a scriptural point of view, and I see things from just looking at it like reality of it, man. It's like you said, this is somewhat of a extermination of the melanated people, man. And they have been doing tests, have been doing been documented tests and experimented on us for centuries and centuries, man. And that's basically, it's in their DNA. That's what they do, is they do studies on the black and brown people in order to exterminate us. You know what I mean? So that's my whole view of it. That's my point of view. Is that they know that it's our time to get back to where we were as kings and queens, and as flourishing black and brown entrepreneurs, owning our own businesses, owning our own homes, our own land, our own everything, and not dependent on the white man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know this. They know this is a time that we're not about to keep depending on us do anything when we got the resources to do for ourselves. And they know this. They know what's about to happen. So yeah, they're gonna do the best that they can and try to exterminate us, even if it has to take down a lot of their own people. The main agenda is to go ahead.
Do you know anybody that's taken the test and have they had any adverse effects to it?
They have offered us the test by working at the prison.
I know too.
I'm sorry, brother.
Go ahead, Keith. Go ahead.
They have offered us the test.
Now you go ahead. What you got to talk about?
Your thing is on a delay, AB. I don't know why, but your thing is on a delay. But go ahead, Keith.
They have offered us the test at the prison. They have given us the paperwork to voluntarily, come in and take the test, because the infection rate inside of the prison is so high. They're trying to make sure that because once you become asymptomatic, you can take that and bring it out into the general public and infect people outside of the prison population.
Okay, so they offered it to you all so y'all won't get infected in there, but somebody got to be bringing it in to the prisoners, because how could they get it if they're in there? So it has to be an officer that is infecting the inmates.
If you were to Google right now how many officers have died nationwide, the number is stunning. Wow. The number is stunning. This is also one of the things that I go over on my PowerPoint presentation, is the number of officers, because them being correctional officers, you don't hear that much about them, because it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. The only time you hear about a correctional officer doing anything, or if they say anything about a correctional officer, is if somebody has escaped or some type of riot has taken place. But the thing about it is, if you were to Google right now how many officers, and this is for anybody out there listening to this broadcast, I want you to hear this if you don't hear nothing else. Google how many correctional officers have passed away and died from the coronavirus, and tell me what you think about that number.
Okay, well, we know that the WHO, the World Health Organization, is in China now doing an investigation to find out where it started. I don't know what they expect to find. China is going to put the clamp down on them, and then it's too late anywhere. Anyway, I think that somebody, Big Pharma, they kill people, so I hope they don't come kill me next. I think that they started it. It's just what I think. I just speak my mind. Who's going to benefit from this more than anybody? Big pharmaceutical companies. That's who's going to benefit. I was just curious as to how they had all these vials already ready for us in such a short time. It's just crazy how they do that. It's crazy to me. I don't know. I don't know anybody. I think somebody said they took it that I know, but I'm waiting to see whether anybody's arms fall off or whether they get to be swollen up or something, or teeth start rotting or something. Then I'll know whether to take it or not in about 6 months.
Well, let's look at who are these big pharmaceutical companies. You got Johnson & Johnson. They are $56 billion. You got Pfizer, $51 billion. You got what's it called? Roche, $49 billion. Noravast, $47 billion. Glasgow Smith and Kline, $44 billion. Of course, they're going to be definitely getting out as many vaccinations and coming up with all these. And from my understanding, you have to be vaccinated more than once because of the virus keeps mutating. So this is also something that you have to understand, that even getting one shot may not do it. You may have to go back and get several different shots at this point because it's a virus.
Yeah, well, we're gonna come back to this topic on one of our next broadcasts. We're gonna move on to racism in America. Racism in America and at the U.S. Capitol. AB.
Hey, am I still on a delay? I'm not sure what's going on over here on my end. Been trying to get it taken care of, and I can see where I'm at delay.
Yeah, you got a short delay. It's a little short one. I don't know. It's your it's probably
Okay,
the laptop.
Hey, ain't no telling, man. Ain't no telling. But racism in America, racism at the Capitol. Hey, I don't know about that, man. I'm not lost about that situation. Having a conversation about that. I'm kind of hard on that racism thing, especially in America. But for this platform, for this particular one today, I mean, I want to bring some other people on to be able to talk about the racism coming from a biblical standpoint and how racism tied in through centuries and centuries ago from mankind, from when it first started. So that's a big thing, man. But we're gonna talk more about it, man, on another show. But but let's talk about it from the Capitol. How racism, how we seen how racism played an important part in what happened and what took place over there at the Capitol. So I mean, I'm gonna see what y'all opinion is on that racism in America and racism at the Capitol. I know Keith, I know you see it all the time over there where you working at. And Julius, I know you around it because you into the politics over there in Savannah and all around Georgia, and I know you see it a lot. So let me hear from you all what y'all think about racism in America and the U.S. Capitol.
Well, I think it's on full display. In the division is just coming out. It's always been there. It has never left. It is passed down through history to these people. And we see it because our people have always told us about it and we experience it. And then it's been passed on to them for years and years and years, and they pass it on to their kids. So they are taught to hold us as the inferior one. So mostly they're scared of us, but they fear us also. And I mean, they're scared of us, but they want to rule us also. So, it's Donald Trump just helped fester that. That's all Donald Trump did. He helped fester it. He made them be bold about it. Your neighbor one day would come out and speak to you, but when Donald Trump took office, then they wanted to slap you side the head or run you over, drag you with a chain down the street. It's just crazy with Trump.
You know what, brother? If I can piggyback on that a little bit, you have a group of people that are fighting for their genetic survival. And what I mean by the genetic survival, you have a group of people that by 2030, they state that they won't even be on the planet. This is because through it has a lot to do with the planet itself, and you have groups of people that wants anything that mates with black, anything that has an interracial relationship with black is going to turn out black or of color. It's going to turn brown. So you this group of people that's trying to fight for.
Your sound went out. Keith, your sound went out. Can you hear me? You muted. Let me see if I can unmute you. Keith.
Can you hear me?
Can
you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, you good.
Once you start talking about this topic, anything can happen. But you have a group of people that's fighting for their genetic survival. You know, their time when nature itself starts to weed you out. That's what it is. You know, when you have the sun, it decides to with the melanin in my skin, I'm able to survive a lot better than somebody that has a pineal gland that is calcified, that is hardened, where they've lost all their melanin in their skin. So that sun now, they could catch skin cancer a lot easier. Not that we can't catch it, but they'll catch it a lot easier. You have this group of people that they know that anything that they intermate with is going to breed brown people. It's going to make more. Everybody still there? The screen went out.
Yeah, you're still there. Go ahead.
Okay. So I wanted to just touch on one thing real quick. We have been trained so much through just growing up, through the games that we play. Let's take something like pool. Pool, everybody familiar with the game of pool, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's played on a pool table. They thought the world was flat, so therefore they used the 4 pockets for the 4 corners of the earth, and you know it's played with a make-believe phallus, which would be the pool stick, and then you would put the pool balls representing all the different colors, the black, the brown, the red, all these different nationalities on the pool table. You would use the white ball to knock off all these other ethnic groups, 4 corners of the earth. And how do you win the game at the end? With the white ball knocking what? The 8 ball. That was the last ball to be knocked off the table. That's how you win the game, correct?
That's how it works.
These are the things that they use to show symbolism in the racism in America. There's no way if Black Lives Matter was to go to the Capitol and try to storm the Capitol the way these terrorists did, that they would be alive today. There's no way that they would be alive. For a man to be able to walk down the street in January with a Viking helmet on, with no shirt, and not be stopped or questioned.
And another thing, all those guys with those guns, everybody had guns, zip ties, mace, all kind of stuff that they had. They came in, and then they're talking about charging these people with misdemeanors for unlawful entry. That should be a felony for coming across the threshold of that Capitol.
Brother, are you kidding me? They should get an automatic 20 years for treason. They were able to go in there to make a makeshift noose and gallows, something to hang somebody with. Outside, they erected a gallows to murder these congressmen, the vice president, and the speaker. Are you kidding me? When people talk about it, they talk about, oh, boys will be boys. No, listen, let me tell you. the true heroes in this insurrection were the Capitol Police and the DC Police and all those people that stood up, because they were attacked, they were beat, they were murdered, and they treated as if it was something that just happens all the time. As Americans, we all, black, white, whatever, should be pulling against these terrorists. And every one of them, they had no fear of losing their jobs. They had no fear of the police. They had no fear of the military, because they felt entitled to be there and to be doing the things that they did. They went and urinated on the floor, urinated on the floor. And you mean to tell me you don't see this as a threat? Let me tell you, the next time they have a coup, because this was a test run. I promise you, this was a test run to see how the American people would react to something like this. There will be another time where they're going to have another coup, but this time they're going to have the military. The military will back them up. You watch what I tell you, because a lot of those people that call themselves patriots, the woman that was shot in the neck that died, she was ex-military. A lot of those people were military. They were congressmen. They were people that, legislators. You had people of high ranking society that participated, or either they stood by and cheered this on. And for the police to be asking for help, listen, man, you got $1 trillion budget. You got $1 trillion defense budget, and you need help locating somebody walking around with a cell phone recording themselves, man. Y'all go ahead, fellas.
I think that is going to change once Biden gets in office. They'll just start doing what they're supposed to do. I think Trump is slowing the FBI down right now, and there's only 5 more days that he got to slow them down. So we'll see what happens after that. I have one question. What do you think, AB? Is Trump the Antichrist?
No, I don't see Trump being the Antichrist. I just see him as a pawn. I see him as a pawn to this whole situation that's going on. He's just a pawn. The government, the bigger people that Trump haven't even met, those are the ones that are the Antichrist.
Yeah,
Trump is not the Antichrist. Trump have no idea. Right. Yeah. Trump have no idea what he got himself into.
So do you think he was using them? These people are using Trump, knowing that Trump is not really with them. Trump is playing for the money side of it. So do you think who's using who? They using Trump more, or Trump using them more?
They're using Trump more.
They using Trump.
Trump using all the resources. Trump using all the resources that he can to better himself from a future perspective. He need what he can get out of what's going on. But the bigger people are using Trump. He's the pawn. He's the one to put out there to get the ball started, to get everything started.
Well, and Keith, they had some elected officials the day before giving these people tours around the Capitol, and when they showed it on TV, they don't know they're being taped. That's how dumb they were. They got the full floor plan and say, no, don't go in that door. Let's go in this door. How do you get this information?
Listen, let me tell you this. If anybody that's been to DC, that's been inside of that building, that place is huge. It is huge. It's like a giant maze. There's no way without information of knowing where everybody needs to go, you would automatically know to go up those steps, to go to that room, to get to the Senate floor. Somebody gave them inside information for them to be able to get in there and get to those places that easily. If you've never been in a place before, how do you know to go up to this floor at a particular place? And it had not been for that brother to turn them away at the top of those steps, they would have made their way in there because somebody had given them the information how to get in. You asked if this man was the Antichrist. What does it say in the Bible when it gets to the apocalypse? Doesn't it say when the trumpet or trump blows? I'm going to leave it right there.
Okay, our next subject. Arrest being made. They say they're going to arrest 300 people in the next couple of weeks, and many more to come after that, and then the no-fly list. Have y'all seen these people at the no-fly list when they go to the airport and and most of them getting arrested and they start crying? Y'all seen that? They started crying. There was one guy that had his foot on his neck. He said, "Y'all treat me like effing black people." He got you down on the ground with it, and he got their foot in his back.
Right, exactly.
Welcome to America.
It's crazy. It's
no,
crazy. I'm talking about absolutely.
Welcome to Black America.
Yeah.
Let me say this to you, brothers. I want everybody to look into finding out who helped them get to DC on the buses, and your mind may blow up when you look into who helped them get those buses down to DC. I'm not gonna get away.
Clarence Thomas's wife. I already had it on my show. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. He did it. He's a no good trader from Savannah. No good trader from Savannah. And that's what he is. He never been nothing. Ain't nothing now. They need to take I think we got an overpass or stretch of highway named after. They need to take that down.
I love you, Mr. Hall. I love you, brother. I love you. Say it one more time. One more time for me, brother.
They need to take his stuff down. Anything named after this guy, he's a disgrace to the black race. He really is a disgrace to all of us. He is nothing. If I saw him on fire, I wouldn't piss on him to put it out.
And this is what the American people need to know about. Not these fools walking around with the zip ties and the Viking hammers on. We know that they're idiots. We need to know who's funding them, who's helping them get there and get back.
Yeah, we got a lot of that coming up too. But we don't get to it today. We're gonna get to it on one of the other shows.
Let me ask you. Let me ask this.
You breaking up? Or you stalling? You might want to go out and come back on your phone.
I can see him. I can see him at a.
You got it?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna come.
Okay, me and Keith will keep it going. You had one
I'm
guy.
go out and come back in.
Okay, I got you. Hey Keith, it was one guy said when they told him he couldn't board the plane, said, y'all are trying to ruin my life. Dude, you just in the Capitol pissing in the corner. You just destroyed Nancy Pelosi's office. You was looking for the vice president to kill him. And you talking about somebody trying to destroy your life, but you was with these people, this angry mob that broke all kind of federal laws, not no state laws, federal laws.
Brother, the cognitive dissonance between these human beings, if that's what you want to call them, is incredible. They are standing out there with the flag, the American flag, beating the police with the American flag.
Hit the police in the back of the head with a fire extinguisher, and that was a fire chief. Hit the police, a fireman. He hit the people. He was beating people with a fire extinguisher. He is the one going to be charged with murder because they said the blunt force killed the police officer. That's how he died. Now what the hell wrong with these people? When you don't get that emotional when you hurt somebody, you know the difference between us and them is when Black Lives Matter went there. Black Lives Matter went there to try to tell them to stop killing us. They went there to overthrow the government. It's a big difference. It's a big difference.
And I want people to stop trying to make the two the same, because those Republicans that stood up and would not vote to impeach Donald Trump should be ashamed of themselves. The ones that did not do their job. Here it is, this man and several others, one man died or two men died and several others got injured trying to make sure those people in there stayed alive, and still you voted not to impeach this man. This man who sent some assassins, they were nothing more than assassins, to come and take your life, and you still want to side with this man. It is incredible. You are a disgrace to Congress to have kept this man in office. I said it, I meant it, and that's what it is.
That's correct. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. You know, I have to say this here. When they were out in Washington or in Portland, Oregon, I thought that the military or the National Guard should have moved in and arrest everybody, because there you're slowing down the government of that state and that city. You know, they protested a long time, and you know what they did was heard. They made their appearance noted. So I thought that after a certain amount of time, they should have negotiated, went in, and those that want to stay, they should have been removed. And the same thing with this crowd in Washington, D.C. You know, you can only protest for so long. You know, you can only protest for so long.
Once it was.
AB, you back with us?
Oh yeah. I had to switch it out, man. I'm hoping y'all can hear me good. Yeah. You know, I'm not on no delay or nothing no more, am I?
No, you good. I want to ask you one question, AB. What is going to happen to Pookie? Pookie, the black guy that we done named him all over the country. Pookie, the black guy that was standing there looking at everything like he just was following the crowd. What you think they're gonna do to Pookie?
Man, I don't know what they're gonna do to Pookie, man, because Pookie was just as lost as everybody else was lost. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let Pookie get a pass, man. Because Pookie don't know what the hell was going on, man. He don't know.
He's gonna get more time than everybody.
Hey, look, it's just like a lot of people when they go to prison, a lot of black and brown people when they go to court, right? They in for a big ass surprise when they get that time.
Yeah.
Pookie gonna get all that time, not knowing why he got all that damn time.
Yeah. They gonna pay Pookie just for being near the body. He can just walk back. You know, he's gonna get all the charge.
Yeah,
he gonna see that. Pookie gonna get charged like hell. Watch.
They might blame it all on him.
Hey, leave Pookie alone, man. Pookie don't know what happened. Pookie thought he was there just to riot. No, he thought he was there to protest. He didn't. Hey, he didn't think. Hey, look, let me back up, right? Let me back up. Majority of those people that were there, their main agenda was to go there to protest. They was there to protest. They was there to demonstrate, to voice their opinion why they love Donald Trump so much. Okay, back up. Donald Trump and his sons and family and all the ones who support him. Of course, they sent those people to DC to voice their opinion and to do whatever it is that they had to do to show their love for Donald Trump. Okay, but now here's the situation. I don't think that they expected it to get out of hand like that. I don't think so.
Well, I think they did. The vast majority of them, you're right. But I think the ones that had the handcuffs, the guns, the mace, all this, the bombs. They had some Molotov, they had some pipe bombs. They knew what they were going there to do. You had some real radicals mixed in that group, and they knew that what they were going there to do, and they were the ones leading the charge and wanting everybody to get in there so they could go out through all the place and wreak havoc all through the Capitol. They had the floor plans. There was several people had the floor plans, so they got to look at that and say, who was this congressman that was escorting them the day before on a tour? There aren't any tours because of COVID, but for some reason he's giving them a tour. This racist congressman out of Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. But one thing, it was we'll talk about that in 1 second. We're gonna move on to the next subject because we ain't got but 20 minutes, and this is a crucial one here. What happened to slow them down?
What happened to slow them down?
What happened? It was one thing happened, slowed them down. Well, it was two things, but one was really important. And I think they could have squashed that whole thing after killing about 150 of them. They could have squashed the whole thing. Shoot 150 of them. They were in clear violation. They were there with the intentions to kill elected officials. Those officers' jobs were to stop them by any means necessary. And they did. Right. One man did the job. One man.
And let me say this, right? Let me say this. I saw where one of the officers, he was on the news talking about the crowd. Some of the people in the crowd was trying to grab his gun and was telling him to use his gun, you know what I'm saying, on those rioters or whatever. Now y'all know good and well, man, if people in the crowd trying to grab his gun, everybody in that crowd was white people, man. Because he didn't use his gun. He didn't use his gun. He didn't use his taser. He didn't use nothing.
They didn't use. You're right. They didn't. They tried to use the mace. I did see them use mace, and the mace, they had these shields so they could block the mace from getting on them. They had those see-through clear shields, and they used that to just keep ramming them and push them forward. But if they would have shot more people, those people, the back would have rained. And then they could have dealt with all the rest of them. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that's just showing black versus white.
I want to say this. There is no way, and I want this to go out loud all over the world. There is no way you can't tell me anytime after this that you cannot, in good faith, say that any shooting of a man that's running away from you, any shooting of a man that is handcuffed or already subdued, that's already down, if you did not use deadly force on a group of people that basically was breaking and entering inside of a federal building, stealing, had committed murder and killed a fellow officer, you should never.
You went out. Your boy, you went out, Keith. Keith.
Yeah, and he sound like he's saying something. He looked like he's saying something real important too. We need to hear that. He gonna have to go back and say what he said.
Keith, can you hear us? Y'all both have technical difficulties tonight. That's why I tell you, the next couple of months.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, start from the middle. Start from the middle because we don't have but 14 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna make it real quick.
Something like that. So start from the middle right there, what you were saying, because AB said it looked like you were saying something powerful.
That if you did not use deadly force on a crowd of people that had committed felony breaking and entering, grand larceny or stealing, treasonous act of trying to overthrow the government. Also bringing a noose and erecting it outside with a gallows, bringing in pipe bombs, and also coming in with zip ties. And let me tell you, if you did not execute or shoot only but one person, don't tell me the next time you see a black man that had a cell phone, you thought it was a gun. Don't tell me the next time you pull up to a sister house and you shoot through the window, you thought she was an intruder. Don't tell me the next time a black man is running away and you shoot him in the back, you needed to do that because your life was in danger. Don't tell me the next time you got your knee on somebody's neck and you got his legs down on the ground, you got him in that you still in fear of your life and he's saying that he can't breathe. If you didn't shoot but one person there out of 15,000 people committing a felony act, don't shoot nobody else. And I mean that is of color or any color that is in the right, that's trying to keep themselves alive and go home to their family. That's what that is.
You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, but these had to be the dumbest criminals ever. You know, the dumbest criminals ever. They taking selfies. They giving interviews afterwards. Interviews. You giving interviews like you did something noble and great that you just did, accomplish some great feat. You don't have to go to prison.
Yeah.
You're giving interviews. You had two police officers you had plenty of police officers that participated in it. Police officers that was working that day with the Capitol Police that was complicit with it. You had the fire chief from Florida came up. You had 2 or 3 elected officials, state elected officials that came up there and participated in that too. Listen, January in 6-7 days, when the real hearing starts, it's gonna blow your mind on what's going on. It's gonna be one thing we know: the feds don't play.
Let me say this. To all the brothers and sisters that's watching it, I want y'all to hit those thumbs up and those like buttons and hit those number ones, and so everybody can hear this. If they don't hear nothing else. From the 17th through the 20th, you have Martin Luther King's birthday coming up, the 17th, and all of these other dates are significant to a lot of white supremacists because these are the times that they like to do a lot of their dirt around these times. Brothers and sisters, be careful out there. I think that this was just a test run for something much bigger, because now they'll say if we couldn't protect the Capitol, we sure can't protect y'all. And I think that this is something that's coming down the pipe. I don't know what it will be, but I can promise you between the 17th and the 20th, something will happen. And I'm just telling everybody to be aware of it, because this was nothing more than a test run to see how the American public will react to a group of thugs trying to overthrow the government.
Okay.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Yeah.
It is. So y'all be careful out there. Be careful. We got a couple other subjects we got to hit on, but we just want to hit on this here. You got to be the dumbest criminals of all time, because that's why the KKK wore sheets so they couldn't be recognized. You dumb mother. Y'all went up there with nothing on. But the KKK, they knew that they didn't want to be recognized. That's why they wore them sheets at night. Dumb. Right. But it's their ancestors. We're going to go quickly over this next subject, and that is what will happen next? Violence in the streets. Do y'all believe that they put the state capitol, the U.S. Capitol, or they're going to do it in the streets?
They doing it all across the board. They doing it in the streets. They're gonna do it definitely in the Capitol, because for one, the Capitol it used to be called Chocolate City. There's more black and brown people in the Capitol, so it's gonna turn into an economical war between those two parties of people, and it's definitely gonna happen in the streets. It's gonna happen in the streets because I feel like it's necessary. Unfortunately, that's gonna have to happen in order for the bigger cause to happen. This is not about something that happened for the moment. This is about something for the future of our people and for the future of the United States and for the future of the world. So yes, it's going to the streets, And unfortunately, it's going to have to be some casualties, because even throughout the Bible, even throughout all the scriptures, all the books of God, it has to be some type of violence have to happen in order for a greater cause to happen. So
I just don't think it's now. My opinion is I don't think that they're going to go to the Capitol. There's too many police officers there. They will shoot them dead. There's too many National Guard people there. They ain't going to see nothing but that gun coming at them or those people coming at them. They will not cross the line again and go up there. They're not going nowhere near that Capitol to protest. If they do, there's going to be the real peaceful ones who ain't going to do nothing, because they will be shot dead in the streets. I think that they'll probably go to some of these capitals around here, but I don't think it's going to be that bad either, because they know that they're being filmed and they know that the government is not going to be playing with them. One thing you don't want is the feds. I tell you, it's two things I'm scared of: God and the federal government. That's the only two things that scare me. Anybody else thinking that they scare me, they are sadly mistaken. But God and the federal government, they do scare me. Sometimes my wife. But I don't think that they're going to do anything in the streets, because who do they have to shoot? Who do they know to shoot? So it's not going to be in the streets, So they're going to continue to do exactly what they're doing, and the FBI and the federal government is going to be rounding them up. They're going to have to build more prisons, because they have become the new game. These people have.
I want to agree with you, brother, but I got to be honest with you. All those tanks, all those guns, all that $1 trillion surveillance, all of that stuff is not for them, because if it was for them, they would have used it on them at that time. If they didn't use it on them during the time of them taking over the house, you in DC, if they didn't use those weapons on them at that point in time, they've blown the opportunity to scare them. It's like a bully. If you don't hit that bully right square dead in the nose when he popping off, he just gonna keep bullying you. So now they've lost the opportunity to do that.
Correct. That's correct. But they knew that they had somebody that was favorable to them in their cause. They're not gonna have that. Believe me, the full weight of the government will come down. This federal government, the full weight of the federal government will come down on anybody who violates this here starting in 5 days. Because you know what? You're messing with their money. And when you mess with their money, they're going to cut your head off.
They're not just going to cut your head off, they're going to hang you.
Yeah.
The thing about that, brothers, is that to them, this man is bigger than the government. This man is a religion. Donald Trump is like a religion to these people. He's kind of the Jones of the presidency.
He can make if they want. He can make anybody that Trump. They can drink that Trump or smoke that Trump if they want. But let me tell you something. The federal government does not play. They don't play. And when they get these guys, they all going to prison. And if they go up there starting some mess, believe me, you'll see who has the power. The biggest gang in the world is the United States government. They're the biggest gang in the world. They don't play.
Let me say this, right? When Christ came before the people, what was his main goal at that time to do? He was stopping the government from doing all the things that they was doing, and he was hurting their economy. And what did they do?
Put him on the cross.
They hung this man. The King James version of the Bible said they hung this brother. They hung him. He went in there and tried to change their lifestyle and how they was treating the people far as the government. So what they did, they put a hit out on all the young kids around his age for one, because they knew the power that this brother had. They knew what was in store for him. So when this man was of age, going out and telling these people how they living foul and how they treating his people, the government, they hung them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and that's what they're gonna do to all these people here. They're gonna hang them.
Well, see, they didn't have guns and stuff back then. They had other forms of weaponry, but they didn't have guns. So now their means of getting rid of you is these guns, these tanks, and this tear gas. They get ready to annihilate a bunch of people, man.
Oh yeah, and part of that was the coronavirus. We're gonna get to our last subject, which is stimulus checks. We only got 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes, and I got to start this video. 3 minutes. So let's go through it real fast. Y'all got more money coming. They say Joe Biden gonna give $1,400 more dollars to everybody who already got the 600. So wait on your money, Keith. Wait on your money, AB.
Hey, what I've been telling people, man, that I talk to about that money, you better take that money and do something constructive with it. Start you a business. Invest in a business, get you somebody, man, that you really like, you really enjoy being around, and y'all talk it out and see what y'all can do to make that money grow.
That's right. That's right. That's a good thing to tell everybody. Don't go spending the money on somebody, Louis Vuitton and Michael Jordan. Ain't none of them people goofy. Ain't none of them people care about you. So spend that money. And so you can make more money off of it. You got to make that money multiply. Don't go out there and just throw the money away. We don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of days. Biden might lock the whole country down, So, and which he should for about 30 to 60 days. What you say, Keith? Real quick.
I'm going to say this real quick. If you getting any type of stimulus check, invest in your health, in some type of access plan in case something do pop off. You need to invest on an escape plan, making sure that you got enough canned goods and food and things that batteries, just like if you was going into some type of warfare. I'm not trying to scare anyone, and I'm not trying to be somebody to be a bearer of bad news. I'm just trying to warn you. That run on the Capitol was just a test run for something bigger. Make sure you rally around your family with a pocket full of shells.
All right, AB. AB, you got one. We only got 1 minute. Give us 30 seconds, AB.
Hey, look, take that money, like Keith said. I'm with Keith with what he said. Take that money and invest in your health. Invest in your safety. Like you said, storage up all your canned goods, everything that you can think of that you might need in the future, in the near future, because we don't know what Biden gonna do. It might be a shutdown and you can't get to the store. So yeah, invest. If that money coming soon, invest in your safety and in your health.
Okay. Well, make sure y'all tune in next week. If you're here local, everywhere. We got Air Scott Hour coming on at 9 o'clock. The Air Scott Hour coming on at 9 o'clock. Tune in to All Things Relevant Media. Tune in on YouTube to ATR Black Media Network. We're coming at you 20 shows strong before February, the end of February. We have about 8 or 9 now. We got 8 or 9 more coming in the next couple of weeks that we got. We even got a young people's show coming. They're going to talk about that. So we'll be giving you a list of everything. Tune in, and I'll see y'all next week. Be safe out there. Watch your back.
Be safe out there. Be safe out there, bro.
We'll talk to y'all.
Successful, blessed, never stressful.